Ever wondered what the phrase beauty from ashes means? Keep listening to this episode because we are going to unpack it so you can see the joy that can be birthed from all your current pain and suffering. Okay, so for years since I joined the Newborn Club, I have been listening to worship music and I've noticed that the words beauty from ashes pops up repeatedly. I would always sing along to it, but the truth was, I actually didn't really know what I was saying, so recently I decided it was time to decode it. In the Hebrew language, ashes metaphorically represents mourning. So that's sorrow, despair, weeping, and a whole lot of pain, right? It's not good. And technically, ashes are of something burnt or destroyed, something incompatible with life. So that begs the question then, what beauty can possibly come from death, mourning, and sorrow? From the ashes that Isaiah talks about in Isaiah 61:3, where he says, "And provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his splendor." Well, this is easy for me to answer because after my dad passed last June, after the initial shock that lasted for 5 months straight, I found that loss opens your heart and your mind to a whole new way of thinking and being. You learn that life is short, that every minute is precious, to have no regrets, to make peace with all, to forgive and appreciate before time runs out. So, death gives you a fresh perspective on what is important and how to live your life in a better, more meaningful way. To be kinder, to be calmer, more patient, to not take anything for granted. The reality of death, you see, is that it makes you grateful and appreciative for what you have. So beauty from ashes for me is about finding gratitude and appreciation for what I have in the current moment. It's a replacement, an exchange of something negative for something positive, like putting on a garment of praise instead of a garment of despair, the one that Isaiah so beautifully and eloquently prays for in his writings. So now, let's apply all of this to body image issues. Let's try to find a little bit of beauty in the ashes with our appearance struggles. Now, for some of you, I know this might sound impossible right now because those past comments have stuck. Words have been spoken over you that have made you feel worthless, rejected, and now you lack confidence. My nickname in school was Mount Everest. I was called Fatso and Thunder Thigh, so I spent my teenage years in Weight Watchers. And over the years, people have suggested I get lip fillers and other shallow suggestions like that. I'm not going to lie, at the time those things hurt, and I am sure they have hurt you too, because they're heavy and their purpose is to keep you in bondage to shame. But if you bear with me, you will see that letting go of this stuff is possible. If we choose to apply an attitude of gratitude and appreciation to ourselves, to our bodies and our faces for what we have, not for what we don't have or want or think we need, by being able to fully grasp what it is that our bodies do for us, the things that we overlook and take for granted every single day, our focus changes and then our mindset changes, and even though our circumstances may stay the same, we feel different. So to do this, can you please just take a moment to think about what your life would be like without legs? Those thighs you hate, the ones that allow you to run and walk and sit down and stand up, the ones that give you the freedom to ride a bike and roll around the floor with your children, the ones that allow you to be fully mobile. Just imagine for a moment how difficult your life would be without them. Do you appreciate them now? I bet you do. You see, many of us walk through life with our eyes closed, conditioned to not see the truth because of the FBI that demands our attention and focus. Because of non-stop exposure to images everywhere, they distract us and they convince us that all that matters is how our bodies look to others, not taking anything else into consideration like functionality. It's such an insult to our creator to reduce what he has designed to something so shallow. And if you think about it this way, what is more important, looks or ability? Like, if you had a choice, would you prefer Giselle's legs or legs that worked? I think we all know the answer to this, and I think I know what the person in the wheelchair would say. I'm just giving you some perspective. Guys, there is so much to be appreciative and grateful for with our bodies. They are wonderful, mighty machines with so many intricacies that we overlook. We have eyes that can be full of hope, lips to speak love, a face to radiate joy with markers of growth and well-earned wisdom, tummies that carry his children, heads to wear the helmet of salvation, feet to get out there and spread the gospel, fingers to turn the pages of his Bible, hearts to know him and love him and bring our children up in the faith. These are our bodies that require food and fuel. They need to be nourished so they can do all that they have been called to do, not to be abused and shamed and name-called and subjected to starvation diets in response to guilt eating. Now let's go back to Isaiah, where he talks about a crown of beauty for ashes. Here he is saying that God is going to wipe away the pain and the sorrow and the despair and replace it with joy, that he is going to dress you up in it with a crown and new clothing, that your new attire on display to the world is going to be beaming light, radiating from the core of who you are as you are Holy Spirit transformed. But to wear these things, we just gotta partner with God. We have to choose him and his word and change our mindset about our bodies and our appearance. We have to appreciate them for what they can do and for what they have been designed to do. When we meditate on this, shame falls away and a focus on our external appearance loses its rank. Yes, it's still important to look neat and presentable and attractive to our husbands or our partners or people we are dating, but remember, they love the things about us that we cannot see in a mirror. So, beauty from ashes is about growth and seeing our appearances through new lens. It's about pushing back the shallowness and superficiality of life and the FBI and the forces of darkness. It's about making peace with ourselves regardless of where we are in this exact moment. It's about letting the world see and know that we don't care about the world's standards. This is the truth that sets us free. The resurrection power working in us and through us. New life that was bought for us at the cross. Beauty from ashes is allowing pain to refine and shape our characters where we foster qualities such as self-acceptance. It really is an exchange of something negative for something positive. It represents change and a better way of living, thinking, and being. It really is about putting on a garment of praise instead of despair. Today, I encourage you, sister, to shift your mind to appreciating your body instead of criticizing it and picking it apart. This is how Christ will release you from the sorrow that ashes bring. Ashes that have left you feeling defeated, full of despair, and hopeless. Thanks for listening, guys, and tune into the next episode, the final episode of this mini-series for reflections and takeaways. Nuggets of wisdom that you can share with your friends, family, or anyone else you know that might be struggling with low body image. Until then, take care, and as always, God bless.